Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 2010 University of Texas Fashion Show. At this time, please welcome to the stage the director of the University of Texas Fashion Group, Eve Nichols.
Good evening and welcome to the fashion show. It's really wonderful to see so many people here, and we're really happy to be representing the students' work on the runway. To stage an event of this size requires a large number of individuals working together to have that common aim. And this year, I particularly want to mention Karen Bravo, the Associate Director of the Fashion Show. She's going to be standing side stage, checking every garment before it heads out and making sure they're in the correct order. So a big thank you to Karen. Also to Julia Goodman, who's the student representative of the fashion group. She's in charge of show production and has been marshalling all the students and all the teams of designers to make sure everybody has every detail ready on time. So big thank you to Julia. Then this year, we had a wonderful opportunity through the support of the Dean to be able to work with a number of individuals in the Dean's office. And David Stedman, who's the graphic designer in the college, designed all of the graphics, all of the adverts, all of the program, posters, all the invitations. And we were very pleased to have the opportunity to work with him, and also with Lee Clifford and Dan in PR. And then we have our guest photographer, Mr. Michael Montague, up in the balcony photographing every garment as it comes out. So we're very pleased to have that group supporting us. The show is put together and produced by Sue Weber, and Sue Weber brings all of her models and her expertise, years of expertise doing the most fabulous fashion shows in Austin, and she works with the students, and we have 139 garments and 32 different collections, and evening wear and bridal and eco-friendly and technology projects, so it becomes rather complex. And she does a tremendous job of bringing it all together on the runway with the music, the lights, and the models' choreography. So thank you to Sue. This year, for the first time, we have Cobalt Blue Salon doing the hair, and Sephora doing the makeup. And the Sephora team is led by Eric Soto, who now does makeup for the fashion shows in New York and LA. So we're very lucky to have him here in Austin tonight for us. And the event is documented by Reversal Films that make a record of the event. Then we have special help and special assistance throughout the year. Alison Hoyer and Ariana Schultz, who are wonderful TAs who've been working with the students and then have worked with so many aspects of the show. So a huge thank you to both Ariana and Alison for working with us. The School of Human Ecology has a fabulous staff that keeps everything running smoothly, and I would like to thank and acknowledge Sakina Suni-Siltine, who leads that group, with Linda Brining, Megan Mullaney. Megan also did some PR this time, which was wonderful. Trina Colkin, Melissa Phillips, Maria Acosta, Lauren Alexander, Gay Lobinger, Judy Willett, Angela Patterson and Doug, and Kamal Adkari, Chase Roden, Mike McKinley, and Andreas Alvaro, who drove the truck for us today. So these folks really helped tremendously. What we see on the runway showcases the 4 years of study of students in the apparel program. And this event is produced by the students of the fashion group that represents the Division of Textiles and Apparel. So the students actually have a volunteer group and they work together, and those students are both retail merchandising and design. And the students go through a number of different classes, and they're really lucky to have the faculty they have that are nationally, internationally known scholars. So in textiles and apparel we have Dr. Begao Xu, Dr. Jonathan Chen, Dr. Anne Reed, Dr. Murad Krufer, Dr. Craig, Dr. KJ, Nancy Prideaux and Ryan Owens. And these faculty have worked together to create that wonderful exhibit that you saw on the way in. And it just took my breath away this time. When I went in there and looked, it's like, oh, it's more beautiful than it's ever been. It's fabulous. So be sure to see that. In the exhibit, there was work from the historical textiles and apparel collection, retail merchandising, yes, and apparel design students, as well as the digitally printed scarves from Jane Craig's CAD class, and Jane also did those wonderful little mini mannequins that are in there with the digitally printed garments. And digital printing is something that students learn in Jane Craig's class, and then as seniors they work as apparel designers would in the industry, where they send out their print design and have the fabric sent back, which they then made up, and we'll see some of it on the runway. This year as well, we had wonderful cooperation from people within the fashion industry around Austin who came and gave their time to spend with the students, both talking about how their collections might be presented or sold in industry, and also helping with the judging of the awards. And those people I would really like to acknowledge would be Gail Chauvin, designer and owner of Blackmail, Patty Hoffpaar, owner of The Garden Room, Stephen McMillan Moser, fashion journalist, Austin Chronicle, Linda Asaf, designer and retailer, Lauren Ford Smith, managing editor of Tribeza, Jessica Chella of Jessica Chella's Atelier, Chuck Haydert of Keepers, Oki Bigo, designer and academic, Renee Geneva, Kathy Saver, owner of Ramonster, and Karen Lander and Dale Dewey, for all of these people, for their tremendous support of the students throughout the year. So we need to thank these people a lot. As well this year, we had tremendous support from the local press. We were able to do a photo shoot with Brenda Ladd's photojournalism students, which she did in her own studio, which is beautifully equipped. And those are the photos that you saw that were in the Austin American Statesman with that wonderful article by Marcus Harper. We also worked with Elena Watts in Orange Runway, with Carter Gross and Ashley Walker. And they also put together that new event up on the concourse floor, the Orange Runway Fashion Alley. And if you haven't been there yet, be sure to go there afterwards. Their displays are tremendous, and they've got amazing deals and gifts to give out. So that was a new departure for us. We also had Ketan Patel and Cassie Flanagan from Austin Women, Regina Gilbert from Good Day Austin, Leslie McCaslin at News 8, and Gerald Rich from the Daily Texan. Gerald Rich has been following the students for the last 2 months and doing articles every Thursday on them. And then last night when we were here and he was talking to the students, he spent several hours on stage helping them fix the stage and complete that. So he became part of the team. So thank you, Gerald. This year we have a new adventure, which is that we're going to be live webcast. And so we have Fashionably Austin live webcasting from their cameras up on the balcony there. And they're going to be sending the show all over the place. And apparently people have registered from across the country. And they're supported by Net Spray. So that's Fashionably Austin. The students of the fashion group work incredibly hard all year, bringing speakers in, connecting with underclassmen, and producing events. And this is the big event of the year, the whole event that they work on as a team. Each officer is elected to that position, and they each have a committee of students. And the president of the University Fashion Group, who's going to be working the music, is Elizabeth Wong, up there. Head of show production, Julia Goodman. Vice President and Art Director, Alex King. PR is organized by Valerie de Villa and Stephen Fontaisun. The model coordinator this year was Wendy Sanderville, and the assistant model coordinator is Martin Gonzalez. Our treasurer, Holly Hobbs. Cute, yes. The secretary of the group, Ashley Westerman. It's great to see their friends and family here. Event planner, Megan Smith. Assistant event planner, Molly Yodette. Digital media by Rachel Brady. Digital media and art assistant, Tatiana Mordova. We also would like to thank Beth Smith, who is our administrative person in textiles and apparel and helps keep everything running for us all year long. The staff of the Frank Owen Center, under the leadership of Chris Ford and Jimmy Earl, Monica, Greg, Chase, everybody that helps at the Owen Center do a tremendous job for the students each year. I'd like to thank and honor Dr. Catherine Surra, who's director of the School of Human Ecology, under which this program has been allowed to thrive and grow. And now I'm really pleased to introduce Dean Marianne Rankin, Dean of the College of Natural Sciences, our Dean.
Thank you, Eve. This is always such a pleasure every year to get to introduce this show. I really don't deserve it. I mean, I really don't do anything except enjoy myself, but anyway, it's really a privilege. I'm sure, I say this every year, I think, I'm the only dean of a college of science in the world that gets to introduce a fashion show like this every year. I want to welcome you all. Thank you all for coming and being here to help us celebrate the achievements of these wonderful students. You know, in a way, this is a prelude to graduation for these students, and it's an opportunity for them to show what they have accomplished in the apparel program. But you also need to know that these students have accomplished many other things as well. They are graduates of or about to be graduates of the College of Natural Sciences, which means they've taken organic chemistry and calculus and all these hard courses that everybody else takes. And in addition, they design these beautiful garments. So they have brought together abilities in science and creativity and artistic know-how that is just phenomenal, I think. And these kids go out and get great jobs. They're in high demand in the fashion industry, and we're very, very proud of them. The theme for tonight, as you see up here and as you've seen on the advertisements, is high voltage, which is, I think, very appropriate, and I think you'll see in the designs that the theme is mirrored in some of the things that have been created. The 32 students whose work we'll see here are all really high energy students, and they have to be, in fact, to pull all this together along with finishing their senior year. They have accomplished some amazing feats here, as you'll see, but it's not just the students who are showing us their wonderful garments and creations that we should congratulate tonight. The students who have helped put this event together made it a fabulous, professional, fashion show, which is no mean feat at all, have also been learning about the fashion industry and about these aspects of the fashion industry and how to put together a really professional show with all these different elements that you just heard Eve thank everybody for doing. This is a big deal. This show is a big deal. And all of these students have contributed in fabulous ways, I think, and they've all learned from it. When we hear from students later who've graduated, we hear that this is one of the most important events of their 4 years here with us, or 5, or however many they spend with us. But it pulls together lots of different elements and is a mirror into the professional world that they're about to enter. So thank you all for being here to help us show off what these students can do and celebrate with them their accomplishments. This year, the students are focusing on using eco-friendly fabrics and, as you just heard Eve say, new design technology. So this is really going to be a little bit of a departure, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with it. But they are basically taking on a more responsible, shall we say, and sustainable approach to creating their designs. And maybe this will be mirrored in the industry in the future. We hope so. I'd like to take a moment to thank a few more people. I know we want to get the show started, but there are a few things I'd like to few people I'd like to acknowledge before we begin. And one is our godfather for this show, Mr. George Mitchell, who's the president of the Co-op Society, and has taken on. Can I have the lights up, please? If we can, I'd like. George is not going to join us on stage this evening because he's just had surgery, and so I'd like, if we can turn the lights up for everybody to have a look at it. Maybe we can't turn I don't know how hard it is to turn these lights up. We'll see. All right, maybe they'll come up, maybe they won't. But anyway, let me tell, oh, here we go. George, would you please stand? Thank you so much for your fabulous. This show was a very different show a few years ago before George adopted us. I mean, one year, kids used, not everybody, but some of the kids used garbage bags as fabric. So, you know, and they had to volunteer at the Irwin Center all year to pay the rent for this evening's event, or for the evening event. So, when the co-op became a sponsor for this, it totally changed the dynamic and brought an air of professionalism, made it possible for a very different level of show to be created. His sponsorship also allowed the students to do a lot more with better fabrics and so on, and it really has made a difference, and we appreciate it very much. But he's made other opportunities available for the students as well. Designing orange garments to sell at the co-op, and also showing some of the garments in the co-op. He's been a wonderful sponsor in every way for this event and for these students. And I have to say, it's not just what he's done or the money, but having somebody of his stature take an interest in what's going on here lends a sort of cachet to the whole event that's very special to him. And I know the students really appreciate it, and I certainly do. I don't know if we can actually turn the lights up one more time, but I'd also like to acknowledge the co-op board, some of whom are here. Members of the co-op board, if you're here, would you stand? Thank you all. They have to bless what George suggests, and they've been great friends as well. And while we have the lights up, let me just say, I want to acknowledge Kathy Sura, who's chairman, and she will join us later. And another person who's here that I want to acknowledge is our First Lady, Kim Heilbrunn, who's going to join us on stage later to help give out the prizes. Kim, thank you for gracing us with your presence. And another person who's gracing us with his presence is our Executive Vice Provost, Steve Monty. Steve, you are so cool. I could not get my husband to come. Thank you for being here. And finally, I want all the members of the Human Ecology Advisory Council to stand. These are friends of the School of Human Ecology. We've just become a school, thanks largely to their efforts. Please stand and be recognized. You all are such good friends and sponsors. We appreciate your support so much. We have, as many of you know, but maybe not everybody, we have just changed the status of human ecology from a department to a school with departments within that school, and 2 departments, nutrition and human development and family science. Textiles and apparel is still a division, but we are working towards creating a 3rd department of textiles and apparel. So this is a new age for this department, now school, and we're very excited about it. Now I have to tell you one other thing, I'm taking just a personal moment here, but I hope you've noticed this beautiful garment that I'm wearing. Okay, so this is the first fashion here. I'm not very good at showing it, but I want you to know this was made for me to wear tonight by one of the graduates of this program, Oki Bago. And Oki, would you please come up here and stand by me? This lady, she's a graduate of our program. She graduated, I don't know, I think about 2004 or something like that. Okay. Then she taught in the program for 3 years. Then she went off and got a fine arts master's degree, and now she's back again here in Austin. She has her own business. You too could have a garment made by her, and believe me, it's really, really nice. But anyway, I just want to acknowledge Oki, but also just say thanks to her for not just this garment, but all that she's done for the fashion program here. She's worked at it tirelessly, and we're really happy to have her back with us. Thank you. So now, without further ado, let's start the show.